Hi, so I really wanted to watch the Things Heard and Seen primarily because Amanda Seyfried was in the movie, and honestly, I will pretty much watch whatever she's in just because Mamma Mia. And when I saw that it was like horror esque movie, I was really excited. So I watched the trailer, but the trailer didn't really give a lot away, which I really like. I don't really like when the marketing team decides to just put the entire movie and like all the plot and everything, because then you're just like, oh, okay, I've seen the movie. um, so I'm excited to see how this movie goes. If it's interesting, if it's bad, it's good. I'm going in it with zero expectation. I think that's the best. And so yeah, we'll see how this goes. Okay, so I just finished the movie and oh my god, like, okay, so it does start slow. So I was like, okay, this is really like dragging on. But then it got really just very exciting, like the plot twists, everything. The like at first I thought it was gonna be like I didn't think it was gonna be a cliche like paranormal movie, because like it's Amanda Seyfried. Like I feel like she doesn't take those movies. I was like, this has to be a good movie, like because she's in it. um and honestly, it was like at first I was like, okay, why are we showing all these characters, like what are they adding to it? But then I was just blown away because there is this essence of like the paranormal, or like, ghosts, but in reality it's just a man who is a psychopath. Like, spoilers, don't worry, I'll edit in spoilers because it's gonna be spoilers. The fact that this man, none of what he was real, and he just gaslighted her in every scenario to make her feel stupid and dumb, and always bringing up her anorexia and being like, you're thinking this way and you made up this monster and you're thinking this way because your brain is, deprived of food and reality. Through certain dialogues, the reason, not, well, we can't say that the reason is because, she's anorexic because of him, but when he talked about Justine being like, oh, she really packs lasagnas in, and she just looks at him like, what are you talking about? And it's those little moments where you're like, oh, and then when it's sexual misconduct and that he is very like eyeing young women, and it's like you understand why she has this condition where she's trying to find control, and this control is food. And I know at the beginning I was just like, oh no, because obviously they start out the movie with him, blood, and then him walking with his daughter, and I was like, no, 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 that can't end, that can't end, and it did end in that exact way. And it's like not good versus evil, because I feel like that would probably be simplifying it too much, but it's like these women who are helping, trying so hard to help others who are in the situation. So you have like the original Smiths, who she was killed, and then you understand that Ella, who was the other woman who was killed in the home, that basically when she was going to die, this is what I understood by the finale, right? That when she died, it wasn't her, it was Smith, the original woman, who died, kind of like inhabiting her body so she would feel the pain. And we see that when Ella inhabits what is Amanda Seyfried's character's name? I don't remember. But you see it when she inhabits her body, and when the axe is going down, it's not Amanda Seyfried's face, it's Ella's face, and it's kind of, and it's just. Oh. And this man was a full-on, like, none of it was true, like none of it. The recommendation letter, the fact that the other dude was like, how do you have a teaching job if you have a sexual misconduct thing? His paintings weren't even real. Like, that was from his dead uncle, who he stole his diary and stole his paintings, that they were gonna do like, post-mortem or post-mortem? I don't remember the thing though, post-humanistly or whatever, when people, like, in honor of someone who's passed, and they couldn't because they disappeared, and it was him, and none of it was real, like none. and then you're just learning how this, and the thing is how he interacts with people. Like when he starts seeing that, you know, Justine is like, you know, becoming friends with his wife, and she's very like open-minded and taking her to these like an Albany where it's like talking about the marriage and about women and being independent, and he's like, you can't be having those, you know, implanting those thoughts in my wife. And he basically told his wife like she's trying to break us apart, she's a lesbian, which, but at this point, is her name Catherine? I'm just gonna say Catherine. But at this point, Catherine knows that this isn't something, like, it's just too much going on. The fact that he's like, I was trying to help you, I was trying to, like, you know, protect you from the bad stuff. And she's like, dude, I survived childbirth. And there was just so much things that just could have, like, for example, if Justine, yes, she did an amazing job. She was like, this man is sus. Especially when he just grabbed her arms and wouldn't let her go, and she was just like, all of these things she should have told Catherine. Like, look, I saw this girl, young girl, wearing a scarf that I made supposedly for his mom, and she's wearing it, and she's saying that it's a gift. Second, your husband grabbed me too hard, and he didn't let me go, and he's a psycho. 3, I saw him, well, that's when she confronted him. 3, I saw him, you know, at the museum, and this happened with a guy who came up to him and was asking how he got a job. Like, it was just, I was rooting for her, and, like, obviously, how would she think that her husband would, like, she knew that her husband, she even said that, I know that you killed, like, Floyd, and that you injured Justine. Like, she was like, I could feel it in my bones, but she still trusted him with the fact that she ate the protein or whatever. And, like, she tried so hard to, you know, get her daughter out of there. And then you have Cole, he comes in the next day, and he's just like, get better, Miss Claire. That's her last name. And she was just dead upstairs. And he had, like, why would he go up and look, right? And the fact that she, it was just such a sad story seeing a woman just being chipped away. Like, who she was as a person, he would, like, subtly belittle her and being like, oh, you know, how she goes, she's crazy. And then Floyd absolutely adored her because, you know, she believed in, like, ghosts and the other life. And he was like, we gotta do a seance. And in that house, there were, like, 2, he even said, if you're good, you attract good. Like, well-meaning spirits, but if you're evil, that is what you attract. And you see that with George, is his name George? I don't remember. Yeah, George Clare, because at first they were calling him Claire, and I was like, oh, I thought Claire was, you know, more of a feminine name, but, like, what do I know? George, he was already doing a lot, and it's not surprising. So the fact that it, like, I'm not gonna be here being like, oh yeah, he killed her because ghosts. No, like, you could say that maybe they pushed him to do it, but, like, he was already gone. Like, he was not a good man. He was sleazy, he was manipulative, he just faked his emotions. He was not a good person, and you're rooting for Amanda Seyfried, or Catherine, sorry, you're rooting for her during this whole movie, and she's trying so hard, and then she's like, you know, and she has no support system. Like, even her parents, her mom is like, but he did good by you for marrying you, and, you know, God, and you know, did you pray? And it's because you're not eating. And she's just, like, tired of people blaming everything on the fact that she's not eating. And it's like she had no one to turn, because he was isolating her literally, and, like, making her live in nowhere and not letting her be part of the community, because he didn't want, you know, people to tell her that she was living in a house where people had been murdered twice, now 3 times. And it's just so, you know, she tried, she just didn't have a system. And when she tried getting one, and, you know, he quite literally tried to kill the only person who was like, this man is very suspicious. And the part with Cole and Willis, I think, Because I remember the librarian was like, yeah, it's a unisex name. And they, like, everyone in the community knew that this man was suspicious and that he was kind of having an affair. But no one said anything. And even the realtor was like, we just let people, we don't go into, like, people's business. But if anyone had told her, like, hey, your husband's having an affair. And when she, like, the fact that she went to make her own, like, bank account by herself, she packed her bags, she, you know, had her kid ready. Dude, this movie just, like, devastated me. And, oh yeah, what I was saying about Willis and Cole? No, Eddie. No, Cole was the younger brother. Eddie and Willis, I don't remember her first name, where she even says, like, oh, like, I know the type of man that you are. Like, the beginning, she's just, like, this, at first, I thought it was, like, I don't know if you've seen the movie with, I'm forgetting the blonde actress, her name. I think I'm confusing with Scarlett Johansson, but I'm pretty sure Scarlett Johansson did not do this movie. If I remember, I will put the thing right here, but basically the movie was, she's taking care of these elderly patients, and she's thinking that she's helping these elderly patients, when in reality, she gets, like, bewitched, and her soul transferred to the elderly patients, and someone took her body, like a body swap type of thing, and she's just, like, she turns from, like, 20 to being an 80-year-old body who's, you can't even talk. That's what I thought was gonna happen. I thought that young people were gonna, like, that's what, like, I thought was going to happen, in the sense of, like, the paranormal, and that they were gonna, like, but no, he was just a sleaze. And she even called him out, and especially when she saw that he had a kid, and she was like, and then she's like, I always fall for the psychopaths, for, you know, and I know the type of man that you are. My father put, so, like, not put them away, like, let them free, you know, serial killers, murderers, or whatever, and basically telling you, like, and then at the end when she gets the news, and Eddie gets the news, and he knows that, you know, he killed his wife, and she knows that he killed his wife, and, like, everyone knows that this man killed his wife, like, there's no, you know, and I know at the ending it's basically saying that he did get caught, or at least that he died, because I don't know where he was going, but I would have enjoyed just one scene of, like, you know, like a newspaper clipping or something of, you know, like, yes, he did murder his wife, and that his daughter would know that he was a sleazy man and, you know, psycho, and that, you know, her mom tried so hard to just, dude, this movie was just, because I feel like it was very realistic, even though it did have elements of spirits and everything. It's a real life story of, you know, abuse, and not having a system, and not having a way out, and trying so hard, and just not, and I don't think the word is systematic, but it's recurring, because, you know, it happened to the original owner of the house, then the next family who lived there, and then her, where each of them had abusive husbands. This movie was. And then, oh god, at the end when Justine wakes up and she sends him a message being like, I lived, bitch, basically, that meme, except it's Justine, and in the mirror, and not in the mirror, in the glass, when it's raining, you can see Ella and Catherine holding hands, and basically telling Justine to wake up, that, you know, goodness prevails. Dude, this movie was a lot. This movie was a lot emotionally. Oh, sorry, you can, well, it's fine. But, yeah, this movie was a really good watch. It is a bit slow at the beginning, and it's 2 hours, but it really starts to pick up, and Amanda Seyfried is just an amazing actress, and whoever played, George Clare as well, he does really well, the whole, like, I'm a psychopath. Honestly, all of the characters, I mean, except the little kid, but, like, what was she acting? You know, she just was there, and, you know, so I'm not gonna nag on a little child. But yeah, it was a good movie. but you should be warned if you are gonna watch. I mean, I spoiled it entirely, but in case you don't care. Sometimes I watch, you know, ending explains and I haven't watched the movie and I'm like, okay, now I can go watch it. It does delve into verbal abuse, domestic abuse, gaslighting, and it's just, obviously at the ending, it's very tragic, but there is justice somewhat. So yeah, I personally rate this movie just, honestly, I think an 8 out of 10. I think it was really well done, and it just leaves you feeling things, honestly. I personally, I'm gonna recommend it to people. I'm gonna be like, you should watch this. So yeah, those are my thoughts on this movie. I really don't know what else to say, or, you know, it's a serious movie. I can't make so many jokes about it, but yeah. Bye, I guess.